1, 2, 3. And I'm live. This is the debut Hoodcast where I just meet comics I'm interested in and we discuss comedy and just some other stuff. And, we'll just shoot the breeze. I'm here with Martin Westgate. How you doing, Martin?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm very good, very good. Yeah, we're meaning to do this for a while, but I'm terribly organised. And, but we're here now for you, so there we go. Happy to be here. Martin, so let's start with a bit of an introduction about yourself. So how did you, where did you first start? How did you get your start with comedy?
So it was a lovely open mic night in Winchester, of all places. I was living down in Southampton, and it was a open mic comedy called Pin Drop Comedy.
Oh, no.
It doesn't exist anymore, unfortunately, but it was lovely. Did 5 minutes. And I really looked back since. It went all right, and I thought, yeah, let's carry it on. And that's
nice one, man. What was the reaction like if you described the venue to me?
Oh, there was a lot of laughs, which was very surprising, to be honest, because it's like, oh, this is the first time I've written something, and people are liking it. So it was a weird experience.
But it's really rewarding, isn't it? Like I remember, the first time I got up. I was 15. It was this little room in Bury St Edmunds called. It was like Chortle. They did a gig at a place called Benson's and Blake's. Now the Snug Bar, and they had a little room up there. And I was 15, and they didn't know my age. But they're like, "Oh, how old are you, Aaron?" And I just said, "Oh, I'm 15." And they kind of went, "All right, we'll let you on." And I mainly just did jokes about some silly stuff about the English Defence League and. Basically, like some gross sex acts I'd seen on Urban Dictionary, and that's my whole set. And if I've got to be honest, I was pretty garbage at stand up till I was about 21, and I didn't have anything interesting to say, and I was just essentially doing a bad Frankie Boyle impression. But as in drama, I didn't have any acting chops, couldn't sing for shit, and stripping might be a bit traumatic for people if I was doing it. So. I'm glad I avoided bringing too much shame on my family. So that's good. We talk about the why. Like mine was just a need for attention and being on stage and shit. But like, what got you into it? Why?
I think it's probably similar, to be fair. Just the want to be loved and the need for attention. I don't know. I've always liked comedy. I was growing up on Monty Python and all that sort of stuff. Two Ronnies and Fawlty Towers and a lot of stand-up comedy. Harry Hill was one of them as well. I just thought, do it. I'd like yourself. I did drama, did A-level drama, and I think I've always wanted to perform, but it's just hard finding like-minded people. So you just go and do it on your own, then, don't you?
Yeah, the acting career. I think you get a stage of who's gonna be doing well in acting, who's gonna get the parts and stuff, and
I was always looking for the cheap laughs, to be fair. So I think the script was written for me when I started doing A-level drama.
Yeah, man. But it was good, and you got your buzz and you get your attention out of it. I mean, it's not the most original kind of start for starting for that reason, but I suppose a lot of people get drawn to it for that, and it's good reason as any, isn't it?
Definitely.
It'd be good. So you're quite busy in Norfolk in the comedy scene. That's how we know each other, Norwich, and you run a lot of nights for comedy, sort of not just a night, but like a brand now, really.
I mean, that's why I was hoping it would go. Yeah. It's going that way. Yeah.
Because when you think Norwich, you think Hooma.
Oh, good. That's good. It's working then.
I mean, that's those are the kind of nights that I know. That obviously there's Gonzo's and a few other places, but really the stuff I see about is for Hooma, and that's a lot of effort, and it's not just you behind Hooma, is it? There's other people helping out.
No, it's the wonderful Kahn Johnson, who I'm sure will listen to this and just go, "Oh, stop it." But no, he's a big help. We sort of, at the moment, we split the gigs into two, so we sort of both look after two each, which is nice. At various venues in Norwich and Norfolk, which is lovely.
Yeah, you've got a couple in Norwich and Norfolk. If you want to go through where exactly...
Oh, let's do some plugging. Brilliant. So we've got one at the Green Dragon in Wyndham, and that's the second Sunday of every month, which is a nice night. We've had some great headliners there. We've had Tanny Lee Davis, who's a fantastic comedian. We've got one at the Wild Man, which is the first Sunday of every month, which is lovely. And we've got the Walnut and Tree Shades, which is a Wednesday of every month. I can't remember which Wednesday it is, but that's a good night as well. And then we've just got a new one at the Murderers, which you have connections with.
Yeah.
Nice.
my girlfriend works there. I was kind of touting for a night, but you beat me to the punch.
We sort of swooped under and took it, but no, it'll be all right.
Well, Hooma's well established in, Murderers is a really decent venue for that sort of thing. It's got a very distinct vibe to it.
Yeah,
it's going to be a wonderful night.
And it's something we did the first one at the start of December, so we're looking at what acts are going to fit there and what sort of style it is, and I'm a big fan of Horses for Courses, which we've talked about this. Like, not every act is going to work at every venue, but you get a feel what works at what venues.
Yeah, and they're all doing good business over here. Wildman does well.
Yeah.
Walnut Tree Shade, lovely little venue. I always see that full.
Yeah,
that's going for straight.
Yeah, Kahn does a good job at that one, to be fair.
Yeah, and Green Dragon's one of your babies, isn't it? The other one of your babies.
Yeah, and it's something we have to work at and make it good.
Yeah, and that's very much more kind of traditional one. Like with my weirdness, we had a feeling that I wouldn't particularly go down well there.
No, and I think you took it well, to be fair, and. But it's we talk about this, like, not every act works at every venue, and it's not saying I'd work at every venue as well. Like,
exactly, and I think one of the things with comedy is not taking it personally when you're not necessarily right for the night.
Definitely,
and it's just a waste of yours, theirs, and the audience's time if you're thinking that they won't do well there. And the Wild Man's fun, and Tree Shades is more my speed. Kind of an alternative comic, and you do well at the Hoodnanny, but some weirder, more alternative nights you wouldn't be right for.
No, definitely not, and I think I survived the last Hoodnanny I did.
Yeah,
that was a weird night.
Yeah, the Hoodnanny is an interesting experience. It's always it's interesting, isn't it? It's I don't think it'd be arrogant for me to say it's not like any other night going.
I think that's a fair comment.
Yeah, it's because you've performed. You've been at phase 1 and 2 of the Hoodnanny. You did the rehearsal rooms, and you've done the Con Club. Which venue did you prefer? Because I know you did better in the December one than phase 1, but which one would you prefer? Did you say?
I think the Conservative Club. I like that one just because of the big space. But then I quite like the intimacy of your recording studio back in phase 1. That was nice.
Those are weird ones. I think. You've been at the 2 nights where I broke my own golden rule of not drinking when I'm performing.
Yeah. Because
I was not in a fit state to perform for the other one, and we got through it, and it was a fun night. And I think I went further than even I would feel comfortable usually with the sort of shit I was saying, but it gave everyone kind of the licensing of. People don't worry about won't this work or will this work at the Hoodnanny if they're going. If they're going into murkier waters, it's kind of a safe space to explore some darker ideas.
I think so. Yeah, that's probably a nice USP to have. Say whatever you want.
It's a nice kind of almost therapy space for just working out some of your innermost mental health. Because I feel in Britain, I think with audiences and people, you'd say we're quite reserved as a country, like stiff upper lip.
I think so, yeah.
And unless we've got a few beers in us, and then we don't. We either overshare on stage or to taxi drivers or takeaway men.
Yeah.
Yeah, and those people are really on the front, along with the NHS, are on the front lines of mental health care in this country.
Definitely are.
I know some cabbies and some takeaway places should get OBEs for their services. Like some nights out in Norwich, I don't know how much. Do you go out much? Like
not as much as I used to, but
I'm sure you've seen it. Prince of Wales busy on a Friday or a Saturday night, and you sort of almost like a military veteran. You want to go up to them and just be like, "Thank you for your service." Yeah, man. So the Hoodnanny, it's an interesting one, isn't it?
Yeah.
But I think with Hooma going strong in Norfolk, Glass-Eye Boys in Suffolk, and would you say Bimmy's got a lot of good stuff on with Thirsty and Dan Farmer?
Yeah, I quite like what we've got going on in East Anglia at the moment.
Yeah,
Ipswich is because I haven't been doing comedy as long as you. I've only been going like 2.5 years, so I'm quite naive to how it used to be. Yeah. But when I first started, there wasn't really a lot going on in Suffolk in general.
No.
Like Hoodnanny was just sort of starting when I was kicking around.
Yeah.
And then Ipswich had Soddle, but it's nice to see that there's something going on now.
Especially since there's so many venues in Suffolk that can host a good night.
Well, it's just, I mean, a pub with a stage and a spare room is usually a good place to start. And there's plenty of them kicking around. But, Norwich has got, more I speak to people, Norwich goes in peaks and troughs with the amount of nights that have going on. At the minute, it's a nice little level.
Yeah.
And Cambridge always seems to be a nice scene as well. So between us three, we've got a nice little...
There's always stuff going on, and then there's Harrison, he's launching loads of nights in Cambridge, Norwich, everywhere. He's spunking his wad all across East Anglia.
Definitely.
At the moment. So I think... Would you say it's fair to describe it as kind of like... I don't know how familiar you are with WWE, but before then there was kind of like territories in terms of like different promotions work, different parts of the country, and no one really stepped on anyone's toes, and everyone kind of let everyone handle their thing, and everyone handled enough that they could, and there wasn't really this aggressive like attempt at a monopoly on nights that...
No, and I think that's the best way to be. I mean, I lived in London for a little bit, and it's just too busy for comedy as well, and you just get very silly with it, and there's too much going on, and they're not very good nights. So I'd rather the way it is at the moment, where people are quite respectful of each night, and I mean, especially in Norwich, it's a city, but it's not a major city, so you can't really... You can have more than one night, but maybe not on the same day, and it's just got to be mindful of that.
And there's not really a formal kind of no compete clause with the scene, but there is kind of that understanding that there is enough to go around, and as long as you don't get greedy, it's better for everyone.
I think as long as maybe if they're slightly different comedy, so you could have an improv and a stand-up night on the same day, that's fine. Or if they're just genuinely different venues in different parts of the city, then you get away with it. But if they're definitely if it's like Gonzo's and I'm running a night 2 doors down, that's never going to work.
And say you've got realistically on a night about 50 people who will be willing to go to comedy. If you'd rather have even 30, 40 at one and then none at the other than splitting it 20 each.
I think so.
It's better for everyone that way. Everyone can still run and book decent acts onto a different standard. And I think one thing we'd like to talk about, and a lot of things that are going contrary to the London scene, like you've performed a bit more in London than I
lived there for 9 months, and I mean that was enough. It's a weird circuit. Like it's very I mean, there's lovely people. Don't be wrong. Like but there's also it's very very cliquey. It's a story. I can't remember which comedian it is, but he does very well in the Northeast. Like he headlines the Stand and stuff like that. And I remember the story kicking around that he then asked a London club, "Could I come and perform like a pro club?" And the promoter turned around and said, "Oh yeah, you can come do a 5-minute tryout." And he said, "Well, I'm not being funny, but I close in the Northeast.
5 minutes for a headliner." Yeah, it kind of feels like I understand paying your dues, and every comic's willing to do progress or open slots or send the videos in, and you're not going to get around with a name alone, especially at certain levels. But there is that thing of like, come on, I'm not a fucking novice at this.
No, and I think at this time he'd been on telly, he'd written a few sitcoms, and he, the Stand is as good as the Comedy Store in my opinion. In terms of branding. Yeah,
and the Stand is legendary. Like the Comedy Store, you think Comedy Store and the Stand, don't you?
Yeah.
And it's every sort of comedy night's ambition to have that level of brand recognition, I feel.
Yeah, definitely. But I think London has got this idea that it's a bit special. And actually, I mean, when I first started Hooma, I was dragged into this, and I'm sure other promoters are and will do. The fact that, they're a London comic, they must be good. Yeah. No, there's not necessarily. I mean, there are some brilliant comics at like Open Mic Standard in London, which will come and smash it out in Norwich. Yeah. But just because they're from London doesn't make them good.
That's not. And my criteria, and I don't know if you feel the same, is that I need a bit more information and videos from someone who's just done well in London. If someone's been smashing out, done like say 50 to 100 gigs in London, but they've not really went further afield, I'm a bit more hesitant to book them.
Yeah, I am nowadays, and I'd like to see him live. I think that's videos are great, but that could be your one good gig that you've recorded.
You need to feel the atmosphere, and they're not going to send you a bomb, are they? No one's going to send you a gig where they've done shit. Well, certain people have sent me gigs where I'm just like, is that the best you've got, mate?
Yeah.
If that's your CV, then it might need a dust up. Maybe get your camera out and stuff. I've seen one where I can't see them. One bloke sent me one of him in a cafe where he's just a silhouette.
Cool.
That was helpful. And another one sent me one which was clearly held by someone with a bit jittery on an iPhone. And it was on 144p and I could barely fucking see it. Just like, mate, please, I can't watch
granddad
this.
with Parkinson's to record him.
Yeah, man, it's just fucking. It's like someone's hooked up to a vibrator. It's just fucking. It's nonsense. Play I love honey delivery. Saviours of the NHS.
Definitely, yes they are.
Yeah, they do good work, don't they? Love honey. They've made males pretty much redundant in some respects.
They haven't, let's be honest.
Women really don't need us.
No, not anymore.
I think we're just kind of happy to be about, you know.
Yeah.
And I think
I almost feel like a houseplant nowadays.
Yeah,
I don't really do anything in the house. Just water me now and then. That'd be alright.
I feel like window dressing. I'm here for aesthetics only. And it's weird. But what I wanted to talk specifically, there's a lot of weird trends around London. And I mean, I know there's only one or two places that really do pay to play. But what I really wanted to talk to you about is bringers and how you feel about them and doing them.
Hate them. I mean, I have this chat with a lot.
Sorry, before we get into it, a bringer, if you think this is a fair definition, is a night organised by someone who does admin, not a comedy promoter, an admin, who you can be your own bringer, but which is paid to perform by a different name, innit?
Yeah.
And fucking or you can bring some poor paying guests. And I've seen ones where you got to buy 2 or 3 drinks at the bar. Yeah. You got to do a song and dance. You know, pass a fucking cycling proficiency test, something like that. And I think they're bollocks. I refuse to do. Even when I was starting out, I didn't do them. And you've done a couple?
I've done a couple because you can't not do them in London. To be honest, there's some really lovely ones. There's TNT and Funny Feckers. They're the 2 I've done, which are bringers, and actually they were worth it. Yeah. But there are some bringers out there, and we just think, well, what you just get a crowd. I mean, they have their place starting out, but I think they should be very specific that this is like a new material night. Yeah. This is just starting out. This is a lovely space. It's not necessarily a comedy club because they're not an actual audience. I think if you want to know how funny you are, just go to somewhere that aren't your friends or friends
do open mics somewhere else. Get on the road.
Just do it. Like go somewhere that isn't. I mean, every now and then do a safe gig where you can try new stuff and see and just verbalise it.
An exercise gig, not tune up.
Yeah, and that's where bringers have their place, and that's fine. But I wouldn't, I wouldn't put that as a notch on my bedpost.
Yeah, I just say no to them. I know you say if you want to break into London, you have to do something and you have to make certain concessions, but I don't fucking want to do it.
I mean, they're not. To be honest, the ones they're lovely if you're in London and if you're around the surrounding area where it's like an hour away. Because what's an hour travelling? But for where we live in Norwich, I wouldn't necessarily travel.
If you're travelling for a 5 that you have to pay, or someone has to pay for, and then you have to stay until 11, and it's a pain in the arse to get a train back. Yeah. There's lots of practices I don't necessarily agree with. And you said something, if you don't mind putting on record, about bringers, is that if you can't bring an audience and you have to get your audience to be your performance to be your bottom line, don't run a night.
I think there's a little bit of that. Quite a lot of that actually. Don't get me wrong. Like the Funny Feckers and TNT, a lot of the time there'll be genuine audience members in there anyway, which is lovely. So it just makes it a massive room. But then there are bringers where they slowly rely on all the other comedians and their +1 to come. And I just think,
and that's the audience.
And that's your audience. I think if that's 100% your crowd, then you're doing something wrong. Yeah. And maybe you should just call it a workshop gig or something like that. Don't hide behind the word comedy club because you're not now. You're not a club. You're a workshop, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, you just have to be a bit more honest. And I like how the Facebook Comedy Forum have a no-bringer policy in terms of people advertising. I do see some people who don't say it on the advert, and then you email them and it turns out to be a bringer.
I was bringing, by the way. And there's a stupid gig going off on a slight tangent. There's a stupid gig in South London which I applied for. And it was, you got a 4-minute spot. 4. If you didn't bring anyone. If you brought someone, you got 7. And the more people you brought, the longer your spot was.
So you could be shit, but people like you. And then you just take the whole fucking night.
And that's kind of what's wrong with the London scene. It's a popularity contest.
Yeah, and it's all about, London especially, advertising, the way the city works, finance, it's all about money. And you can't escape it, even in comedy.
And I get, people who want to put nights on, that's lovely, and a lot of the time the venue charges, so you've got to
make your money up.
You've got to make your money back, or you know, they were like, all right, it'll be a free venue, but we want to sell this many drinks, so you need to bring this many audience members. And I get all that, I do.
There is pressure, but
it's just,
you need to be honest.
There's ways around it.
Yeah.
There are ways around it. Maybe just work together more.
Yeah. And let people help people out, maybe communicate in the scene, don't be so competitive.
But I know it sounds a bit bitter, I'm not. It was a lovely time in London, and they have got their place, and some nice nights. There's some really good, like, R-level nights. I mean, there's one of the best clubs in the world being the Comedy Store.
Yeah.
So, obviously, there are some great nights in there.
But it's not the be-all and end-all. And
no, I don't think
I think it should definitely be just a London phenomenon. Like, it should be unique to London.
No, it is.
If they were Bringer Nights started appearing in East Anglia, I think all the promoters would be like, nah.
I mean, when you have a couple of bad nights for your own gigs where no one turns up, you think maybe Bringers are an idea, and then you just quickly go to yourself, no, shut the fuck up. We're not doing Bringers in Norwich. That's not.
Yeah.
That's not happening.
Exactly. Like, I'd rather have a space where maybe someone who isn't the most polished can at least give it a try and not do as well, because I've seen acts, sometimes it's just not their night, sometimes they need a bit more stage time, sometimes they're just not right for the night, and I need to step back and work on something. But it's a pain, but London is what it is.
What it is.
I think everyone should just be a bit more aware of it, and a bit more honest. But I'm very glad I'm working from where I'm at.
Yeah.
I think it's not necessarily a better scene, but I prefer it. It's a lot less predatory.
I prefer it, like, because I started in Southampton, which is a very similar sort of scene to us up here, where you're treated like an act from day one.
Yeah.
Like people, I mean, there's a little bit of, please give me a spot. But once you're there, they make you feel a bit welcome.
Yeah.
Whereas in London, it's that we're doing you a favour for sticking you on a lot of the time. I'm not saying that all nights like this, some lovely nights.
But there is some.
But you do get that sense of, well, I'm doing you a favour.
Yeah.
You know.
We won't name any names because I don't want to cause too much of a ruckus on my first show. No. and I think me and you might want to work in London again.
Well, I'd like a gig now and then.
It's a nice enough place. I like Camden, and there's some people running good nights, people doing great comedy. It's a big city. It is what it is. And what I was going to say is we'll keep going. And it just seems like instead of like cohesive territories, it seems like a lot of little fish in a big, very, very big pond trying to make a splash, and it's harder. But it's harder to make your name if yourself the bigger the city is. I feel.
It is.
Yeah. One thing we've talked about Bringers. Both not a fan. Both not if not angry, react, sad, or wow. But what other firstly as a performer, what any pet peeves you have? Anything that gets on your wick?
I think it's disrespect between the acts and the compere. So I've had a few nights where the compere would introduce you thinking it was a joke, and it just kills the. I can't think of an example like word for word, but I just know I can remember there's a few that just go, welcome out on Westgate. You think, oh, good, now I'm right on the back foot.
Yeah.
Or when an act introduces the compere back on stage, and welcome back your compere. Like, oh, great! Now I have to try and build the audience up again.
Yeah.
And I think that's a bit bad. I think you should. One way of looking at it, again, only 2.5 years in, so I'm not an expert.
Yeah.
Don't claim to be, but it's like you're just warming up for the next guy, no matter what position you are on the bill.
And what pisses me off when someone breaks up the flow and you have to. I think, and we've seen compares who've went into they just go into business for themselves.
Yeah, they just I want to do my routine, but
it's an extended promo for them almost.
Yeah, and
that's not right. You're just using people as kind of breaks to go for a drink or a piss at that point. And I think you can get it wrong because it's such a what people don't understand. It's such a different art to comedy, to performing it, be upset.
Yeah,
it's such a sweet science in terms of making sure the momentum's going, but not stealing the thunder, but not giving someone absolutely fuck all to work with, so they've got to do your job for you effectively. Yeah. And it's easy to get wrong, isn't it?
I get told quite a lot that I'm a better compere than a comedian. I hate that phrase because actually compares are comedians. But Danny Walsh, who works on does the London circuit, I don't know if he'll listen to this. Hi, Danny. But he's got a lovely. Whenever he compares, he's got this lovely analogy where, by luck, there's always seems to be a picture frame in the room when he does it. But it's I'm the acts are the painting, are the picture. Yeah. I'm the compere, I'm the frame, so I'm keeping it all together. Yeah. And I think that's a lovely analogy.
Yeah, that's a really good. My analogy I first heard was the foreplay for the sex.
Yeah, I thought yours would be a bit dirtier.
Yeah, but I think we come from different cloths. And it just Also, we've gone from you compare and you're performing. One thing that gets me is disrespect from audience, because it's I understand a bit of heckle every so often when it's funny, when it's well-meaning, when someone's throwing you a bone or a ball, especially if you're struggling, that's fine. Or if you actively invite them, fair enough. Because there's nothing worse than trying to work with someone and they give you nothing, because that completely deads the momentum. Yeah. But when someone's just you can't work. And when someone's just sustained being a bell end and they just decided, again, audience members can go into fucking business for themselves. And that's fucking shit.
It's usually, I've had a few drinks and I think I'm the comedian now. Yeah. But it's like, well, all these other people have either paid or given up their time to watch the comedians. Yeah. And you want it to be all about you. We did our first Murderers gig. Yeah. Start of the month. And there was a group of crane operators from Felixstowe Docks on a Christmas night out, and they all stood in the I know you know the Murderers quite well, in the back room, and stood up there just beside the stage, and it was just take the piss out of my mate, and it was just do this, do that, do this. Oh Martin, I didn't do any jokes. I was the compere, but I didn't do any jokes. It was just damage limitation and try to quiet them down. But
you kind of feel like you're bar staff or a waiter at that point. You're just catering entirely for these bellends, and you can't work other people. And it completely just ruins the flow of the night. And if you're not going to respect, people don't kick off in like a music performance or like a play or anything.
Not in the same way that they do at comedy. And I get
we're not treated we're not disrespected as bad or as strippers or sex workers, but like it's a lot of effort and emotional labour, and we're not a fucking jukebox. We're not going to just do Tom Jones. I'd like a joke about my mum, please.
Yeah, no, I don't like that. But I get it's all part and parcel. I'm sure we've got it all to come. There'll be worse gigs, and people have had worse gigs than us. And
we're never going to kill off heckling.
And it's part of it, and it's just about how good you are in responding. And someone said to me, just give them a little bit and then take it away.
It keeps your wit sharp, I think.
Yeah, I think so. I quite enjoy hecklers as long as you've got something to go on. Yeah. Like if they're just your shit, get off. I mean, that's no good for anyone.
What are you going to fucking...
I mean, that's the last time I invite my dad to a gig, but that's...
Yeah. Just...
It's almost like a Don Mackey joke, that one.
Oh, Christ. set up really laboured, and then once the punchline Dom, we know. Good, he's a good old chap, and he's probably because he's one of the comics. I'll probably have him on the show. We probably should have him on the show.
You should have. And I still believe, because of you two, you should call it the AA battery or something like that. Yeah, with you both with your autism.
Yeah, the comedy night I think
that'd be lovely. Or just the episode for the podcast.
AA battery. That's a good one, because I just got to Hoodcast with your name for this one.
Yeah. But
sorry, it's low effort, but I think you're fine. Yeah. You're not a particular diva, are you?
No, but I won't be doing this again.
Yeah. You got your popcorn and your water.
Yeah,
got some bickies later. Come do the Hoodcast, mate. It's grand.
It's grand.
But Dom. It's just because we're familiar with all of his stuff. We know him back to front. I know. It's like there's comics you almost know their set as well as yours.
Yeah, and I think that's worrying. I think that's where you need to spend some time apart.
Yeah. Like keep the energy fresh. Maybe take a break.
Yeah, just
get a hobby. But
let me see other people.
Yeah. It's not necessarily you. It's just being around. Dom's a great guy. Yeah. We'll have him on. He'd be furious if I didn't. He'd be right fucked off. Yeah. But another thing you promote a lot of nights. You put a couple, and you've one thing in terms of what a performer does at the night, and specific night applying for your how not to get a Martin Westgate gig, and then how not to get booked again.
So how not to get the gig initially is just going, hi, I'm available, and that's it in a message. Yeah. Like, I need more than that. Especially if I haven't seen you. If I know you, that is fine. Like if I know what you're about, then hi, I'm available is more than enough for me.
Yeah, but you paid your dues. Didn't you?
But if I even met you before. You've had to add me as a friend. Just go, hi, I'm available. Yeah. I'm not even gonna respond.
Yeah. Well, I think a pet peeve of me is when no one's ever spoken to me, met me, been on the same bill. They just add you on Facebook out of the blue, and they don't necessarily even ask for a message. But you can tell they're just like a gig voyeur. And I don't respond to those friend requests. Please do stop making them to me, please. I don't add other people without the consent. It's weird. It's weird and rude.
Yeah. And he wears a thong, but it's not consent.
Indeed. And then in terms of the actual, if beyond time available, if they apply properly, is there any other sort of red flags? Anything that puts you off?
No, but I mean, I usually watch their clip, and if I don't at least smile within a minute of watching the clip, then I probably won't book, or I'd want to definitely see them live.
Yeah,
I get that you lose a certain amount of the atmosphere on a video, so I don't take too much into that.
Yeah.
But if I don't even go one of those exhales,
a titter.
If there's nothing within like the first minute or so, then I won't book.
Does your partner Nikki watch any with you at all?
No, she hasn't actually.
Yeah, because my standard has gone right up with Flora's very, very picky.
Yeah,
Flora's very.
I mean,
picky.
I try to put myself into my girlfriend.
You try.
I try every night. Yeah. No, I try to think, would she like them? Because I'm quite. I kind of like anything within reason, like silly, intellectual stuff.
You get to appreciate more brands of comics the more you're exposed to it.
Whereas, but then that's not necessarily a good thing because I'm not the general audience member.
Yeah.
Because I look at it, I see like comedians and go, oh, I see where you're going with that. Yeah. That's quite good. Or I wish I could do that, you bastard. Yeah. But then the other half, she is the average audience member. Yeah. So if she wouldn't like it, then not.
Yeah, and if someone So if someone's opinion has clout, it's your partner's, isn't it?
Yeah,
so you share a lot of values, same sense of humour, and if you don't like someone, like another pet peeve, I don't know if that's so much a problem with you because in terms of how the fee works, I either do a split of the night, like depending on how good someone is, like usually a 50% split for the headline, which I think is fair. No one's complained thus far, it's usually around 60 quid or negotiable depending on how well the Hood Nanny's doing at the time. Yeah. But if someone's better, I will maybe find an extra 10 or if I really want someone. If I have to seek someone out, it's usually a bit more. If it's short notice, it's a bit more. Yeah. But one thing when I've done an application, if I've asked, even if I haven't put the fee, and I understand people wanted to know, but and put in the email, if they go, I'm available, what's the fee? Like they can just click and get it.
Yeah.
And even especially if I don't know who they are, that's just a bit awkward. But and also someone criticised me on the forum, going, "Oh, you really should put fair feedback, other people who've headlined, because so the round level market rate." I think that's fair enough. That's like saying what the fee is without really saying, and that's fair feedback. But the fee, and I was like, well, I negotiate the fee in the way the night works, and like otherwise you'll just get people emailing you. I want people to email me about the night. I want people to inquire and want to work with me.
If they're not right for that spot or that night, you might go, oh, actually, I've got a night down the road, or down the line that
pays more, or I can point you to someone who you'd be good for. Yeah. Because promoters talk, comics talk, and promoters talk. They're the most. They can be the most supportive community, but they can say half be the most fucking catty.
Oh, they are, aren't they?
Right. They're a bunch of little queens, aren't we?
That's a road trip for you. If you don't bitch about another comedian on a road trip, are you even a comedian?
Exactly. Not the point. That's part and parcel of the game, isn't it?
Unfortunately, it is.
Yeah. And I'm fine with people doing it, but I don't know. It's embarrassing when someone thinks they have more clout than they have.
Yes, and I'm not going to name any names.
Yeah, let's not do that.
But
I might want them on the show.
You wouldn't want them on the show.
No.
But there's one or two that I just think...
We'll talk after hours about that.
Yeah, I just think, what are you doing even asking me for that spot?
Yeah. And you're just like, you're not ready, or I don't...
I just stop comedy. For this particular person.
Yeah, fair enough. One dude, because I'm particular in certain things, I'm not offended by anything, but I'm just, for fuck's sake, it's either tired or boring, or when someone's trying to be edgy and they're not doing it right is one of the worst, because you can really get edgy dark comedy fucking wrong.
Oh yeah,
you get it wrong. I've got it wrong as fuck. That's why I was trash until I was in my 20s. But
you're just an arsehole if you're not funny either.
You're just a prick with a mic. You might as well be muttering that shit in Weatherspoons to some poor bastard at the bar.
Just put a ginger wig on, become Jim Davidson, and have done with it.
Exactly. Just do some hilarious impressions of different ethnic minorities, because that's comedy.
Yeah.
That's alternative comedy. Because I can't say nothing these days. It's like you can talk about anything on stage as long as you're fucking good enough to do it.
I think so.
And it's not, and it helps if it's not mean-spirited, because people can tell when it's coming from a bad place.
Yeah,
fuck. Yeah. Like one particular person, it was just a typical set about fucking complaining about, like, hello, I'm a bitter middle-aged man. I hate my wife and kids, even though the people I should love most in the world. And here's 20 minutes about complaining about it. and I was already bored. Like I watched the whole video every time unless I can't physically see or it's so bad I have to turn off.
Yeah.
But I was like, all right, I'll see where this goes, but I'm not impressed. But then it was a joke about like raping his wife in her sleep.
Oh.
And I was just, and immediately me and Flora was like, turn that fucking off.
Yeah,
Turn that off. And I was just like, no, because the hood nanny is a pretty accepting thing. But if you're not very likeable and you're chatting about rape, especially since like, if you look like you should be on the poster for it, as it were.
The poster boy for rape.
Yeah, not that there should be brand ambassadors. If it would be Bill Cosby for one brand, Weinstein for another.
Yeah.
Let's swiftly exit this bit.
I think so.
Yeah, but you need to be careful what you fucking talk about, and if you're likeable, it goes a long way. But you got a lot of license, and some people like if you're not likeable, you can't be saying that shit.
I think at this level where you're still trying to build an audience and why you're not on telly and why you kind of need to have a bit more of a split towards the safe jokes.
Yeah.
To build that rapport with the audience, and then you go bam,
especially initially.
Yeah, and then here's some horrible stuff, and then I'm sure Frankie Boyle did that.
Yeah,
to some
Frankie
respect.
Boyle definitely played it safe in his earlier stuff, and then
I never, I haven't followed his career with great interest, but like, and now because he's built that audience, he can say whatever he wants. Yeah, because he's built.
Especially since I think his later stuff has gotten a lot better about saying whatever he likes. It's not just the leftovers from the week that they wouldn't broadcast. Like Madeleine McCann, bit. I'm not going to get on telly. Use it here, and the two ones he admits were just stuff from Not the Week, and now his other two were just infinitely better because he's still as fucking brutal, but it's more sharp and political and more acerbic. And I've always liked it, but I much prefer his later stuff. But another thing is, what was I going to say? You kind of like, it's fine when you've got the good intentions, but if you like and you go, oh, that's a bit, but you can bring it back, or you can step away. And I've heard some comics, sometimes you're not the right actor to talk about that topic, and sometimes just because it's topical doesn't mean you have to speak on it.
It depends. It's all context and how you say it. And I think anyone can talk about anything, because I've got black jokes. Yeah. And I mean, I'm sure the listeners at home can see that I'm not black. Yeah. But
they've very much got a mental image of you.
I mean, you can tell. You can just by the voice. I mean, I sound white.
Pleasant, inquisitive ferret, ladies and gentlemen.
And it's white not just in colour, but in a state of mind as well. Yeah. But I've got black jokes. Yeah. I think that's fine because they're cheeky and they're not.
The joke isn't the race, and it's not like you're yelling like the Mel Gibson bit about being raped by a pack of. No,
and it's not that.
I didn't know that was the unit of measurement for that racial slur. A fleet or a murder.
What is the collective noun for black people?
Yeah. I don't know.
Lovely, that's what it is.
Yes. Let's wait for Mattson or Bimmy to talk about that. Another thing is, like when Don, bless him, he started talking about Me Too, and me and Flora we weren't pissed off with him, but we were just like, okay, where's he going with this? I was like, and then he just sort of referenced it, and then quickly went off and was like, you just sort of threw this grenade up in the air and just fucking.
I think because I've never heard him do a Me Too joke.
It was just a riff. He was just riffing, and he just kind of immediately went, nope.
Yeah, but which is fine because he knew that wasn't necessarily for him. But if he did, and that's his starting point. Yeah. That's fine. You just develop on it. Because I sometimes just drop grenades and go, "Oh, this isn't me." Or
you want to see what happens, or you drop a clanger, or sometimes you just want to mess with the audience. But it's fine. But sometimes it's kind of like you realise that I'm not ready to speak on this, or it's not the right time. Also, we're smashing through it. We're a bit over schedule, but we're going to probably keep another half hour if you're busy, man.
If you like.
We're doing good, aren't we? Another thing. Road stories. You've been gigging for 2.5 gigs now. You talk about we told them about like comics are the cattiest people because they're the drama students who were rejected by the other drama students. Yeah. So they're the cattiest people I know. Have you got any good road stories to share?
I mean, I don't really. I mean, I always have lovely car journeys. It's mainly with like Kahn Johnson and Chris Norton Walker. I seem to be in cars with, or Dom nowadays.
It's Dom a lot.
Dom.
It's Dom, you and Harrison. That car journey we should have recorded. It would have been bad for our careers if we'd recorded those car journeys.
No, we shouldn't. We shouldn't have recorded the roast car journey because
I'm glad that that audio was lost to history. Because I did a pilot for this in because I was meant to do like a literal pop-up show in Bury called which I called Fear and Loathing in Bury St Edmunds, which is I'm going to start doing like a new act kind of like new material night called that, and just wherever I'm in and it was back in the rehearsal room, so I thought it would be a nice little thing, but no one could go. And about 5 people turned up, so we just bought a load of cans in and just started doing the podcast. And we recorded for about an hour, and about 53 minutes was unusable for being radically offensive, even by my standards.
So a 7-minute podcast.
Even potentially legally libelous. Yeah, and we went through a lot of Bury's murkier secrets. I'll have to tell you a lot about that off record, man. It's insane, but yeah, it was. I'm glad we've moved on past that. Any strange gig stories then? Everyone's got 1 or 2 gigs where you're just like, fucking hell, that, or not even bad, but sometimes the Hood and Nanny is a lot of people's that gig where it's just like, Jesus, what the hell was that? But most people like it and want to come back.
Yeah, for some reason.
I don't even fucking know why. I still do it, mate, to be honest.
I mean, I had a lovely gig in just outside Basildon. It was a pub, and everything was wrong about that gig. And just like there was a separate room. We decided to do the gig around the bar. We were expecting a stag do. We decided to carry on the gig. Instead of waiting for them, they came in halfway through the set. And I used to do a joke which involved the C bomb, and then some guy decided to grab hold of that and just carry on just calling me that on and off stage.
Yeah.
So I took my fee and left. That was.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Sometimes not if you've necessarily done bad, but it's just not gone well. Where you just want to you need to get out of there.
Yeah. I mean, I watched the next guy who was on, and then the next break we just kind of went, so yeah, I'm off. And then
you got to get out in a socially acceptable time to get out.
Yeah.
Like I prefer it when people stay, but if people had to leave because they've got to drive or whatever, or they're doubled up, I prefer I don't mind doubling up for my gigs, but I prefer if a certain headline hadn't tripled up and been an hour late.
Oh, who was this?
Chris.
Was it?
Chris Norton Walker. I love you, man, but please don't do that to me again.
He won't listen to this.
He wants to come on. He better fucking listen to this.
He wants to come in it. He won't fit in the room, mate.
I think we'll have to do an open air podcast. Yeah, Chris is a lovely pun guy. We'll not get distracted by that, but yeah, fucking hell. There's some weird ones. You have to get out, especially when you've just dropped a clanger and all you want to do is fucking get out of there, don't you? Do you when you've bombed? Do you stay for a bit or do you just fuck off?
It depends how bad it's gone. If it's literally like people hated me, like the one in Essex, it kind of was like I'll just stay for one and go. If it's just me, my joke's not working, I'll probably watch. If I said I'd watch, I'll watch. But I haven't really had any terrible gigs where I've just not had a laugh. Yeah. It sounds very arrogant now, but it's like I've usually at least survived a gig.
Yeah, I don't.
And kept some sort of dignity. But...
The worst I get, I don't. Even when I've done badly, I just get a few weird looks, and I sort of linger at the back, behind at the back for as long as I'm able to. Because I take it really personally when I'm not excellent, like my ego cannot fucking handle it. But I linger just near the back like a bad stench, brooding like a fucking idiot. Yeah. And it's horrible.
It's the worst when you haven't done great, and you know you haven't done great, but you know you're better than that.
Yeah.
And then some audience member comes up to you and goes, "I think you're really brave," and you just go, "Fuck off."
It's like a pity thing. It's like I've got the Orts. We've listened to with double A battery. That'd be fucking. That's a great title, by the way. Fucking. What was I banging on about? I don't know. It's I kind of get like really into it, and I can't deal with not being perfect.
Yeah.
It's fucking.
It's good to be like that though, striving for perfection.
Yeah, and I think comics, fragile egos, and it's the only actors, fragile egos. The only people I've heard with more like take offence easily or get like they have that state of like being the best and they have to be the best fighters, like MMA fighters, boxers.
Well, I think there's a lot of truth in that. It's like we're sportsmen and actors. We're like competitive as sportsmen, and we're as fragile as actors, but just without the talent.
Neither the talent or usually the looks.
Yeah,
because I couldn't take a punch.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks like you have.
Yeah, it looks like I took take several. Yeah. Yeah. If I told you I was anywhere between 20 and 35, my listeners would believe me if they didn't know me. Yeah, fucking hell. But yeah, there's some strange ones. Have there been? What about the ones that kind of like made you laugh? They've been so weird. It's kind of been like it's kind of just been like sort of fun in a way, like just enjoyable weird.
It's just enjoyable weird. I don't. So a random one was the Manchester Gong Show up in the Comedy Store.
Oh fuck! I've heard horror stories.
Doing so well, like not to pat myself on the back too much, but like, I was doing really well. And I thought, oh, this could be it. I could do it. And then ex-Norwich City footballer Aaron Wilbraham, Dick, has the last card and gongs me off because I didn't recognise him, and I just thought,
wanker.
You are
who is Aaron Wilbraham?
Exactly. He kept the pressure on Grant Holt, and that was it. That was all he did.
Yeah.
He was the Spurs of Norwich City.
He stopped Grant Holt graduating from BBW to BBBW.
Yeah, that is it.
Fucking hell, and he still managed to bang in goals against Ipswich, but we'll get to that later. We'll definitely get to that later.
Definitely.
The glee on. I've never seen Martin has a rather smug demeanour about him at the moment, don't you, Martin? That'd be fair to say.
Oh, it's lovely. I am enjoying football.
Yeah, I'm repressing it like horrible childhood memories. I mean, like about the Hooded Nanny, because I told you Hooded Nanny is usually someone's like, what the fuck gig, one way or the other. But take me through the first Hooded Nanny, how you think you did, how you found it, and then the second, just in a bit of detail, if you don't mind.
Well, in the recording studio,
the first one in the rehearsal rooms.
Oh yeah. So I found it in Bury St Edmunds, and that was shit. It was good. No, I really enjoyed it. I like the fact that we went between rooms. That was lovely. That was because we started off in one and then moved into another, and it just felt like it was all your mates, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was just all my mates.
It was like
a few people Kahn had bought, and that was it.
It was a bring out on a massive scale. That's what that was.
Yeah, whereas I brought everyone.
You brought the whole one. No, it was a bring out by the compare. That was it. But no, that was lovely.
Which is the whole point. That's actually doing your fucking job.
Yeah. No, it was a good gig, and I think that's one of those ones where you could have said anything, and actually you'd have got a laugh, and maybe that wasn't a good thing because you ended up being, as in me as well. You ended up going, I'm hilarious. Everyone's laughing at everything, but actually, no, they're just here having a good time.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, I think as weird as it is, it's always a fucking lively, welcoming audience, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I was way too smashed. I'd had 2 bottles of cheap Tesco strong white wine, stuff you could use to, get paint off a car.
Oh, nice.
Fucking hell, and I was in no fit shape to combat. Apparently, Dom said you and Kahn were a bit worried about me, like asking, "Is he okay?"
Yeah, I think I remember. Now this was last year, wasn't it?
Yeah, this was the first crippling depression sessions.
Oh,
yeah. The next one's in 7 days, man. Crippling depression sessions 2, Electric Boogaloo in phase 2.
Lovely. Who have you got on?
Headlining. Let me get through the card, my man, if you don't mind me.
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna put this on, and I might as well wank myself off as well.
We could just we could bitch about them as well. And just go, you shouldn't have booked him. Oh,
yeah,
no.
I think that's what we're gonna do. Good Nanny 1X. Bloody hell, there's been 9 of the fucking things, and it presents. Simon came to it. We've got David Luck, who I thought who thinks hilarious. Adam Kumas, who was very strong, very charming, engaging. Dan Farmer, who's a Nanny favourite, is his third one.
I can see why he'd be a favourite.
Yeah, he goes. Alex Green's fourth one actually. Alex Green, B Money. He's a fan favourite. He's really good. He did a 40 recently. Fucking hell, I ain't even done a 40. Danny Mark, one of the Glass Eye boys, one of the legs of the tripod.
Yeah.
Louis and Danny are definitely the balls, and Aaron's the shaft. Just in terms of body mass.
Yeah,
just
that
in
makes sense.
And in just like Louis and Danny are geezers, and Aaron isn't a geeze.
No, you saying Aaron's a bit of a dick? Is that what you're saying?
No, he's not a dick. he's still a dude, but like when you think of bloke, like Aaron sounds like a bloke. When when a dog sounds a bit bigger than it is. But I love him. He's a great guy. They're all fucking good lads. Please continue to book me. Aaron Shipper, who I've seen before, good stuff. I meant to do stuff with him, do a night for him, but in London, which wasn't a bringer, and had a free pizza. So I was on that shit. Free pizza and a drink. Fucking hell, in London.
It's like a proper gig, that is.
Yeah, that's a proper gig. Aaron's a good guy. I'm still on that. He's good. He's very witty. He sort of seems like if there was not the smoking ban, he'd just be huffing cigarettes and just smashing out a line. They've got Ollie Watson, who's hilarious.
Lovely guy.
I've been wanting to book him for, and headliner Spring Day, who's fucking brilliant.
Nice.
Like as applicants, in terms of applicants who haven't actively sought out, she was just really impressive. She's fucking hilarious, and I'm really looking forward to having her. Yeah, it's a solid card, and I can't wait to have it. 28th Constitutional Club, Bury St Edmunds, 7:30 start. Tickets are available. The Manic Purchase tickets are available for £3 on Eventbrite, and then it's £4, £5 on the door, depending on how generous I'm feeling.
Drunkies on the night.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I'm not doing that again. That'll be a good one. And then so you enjoyed yourself at the first one.
Yeah, it was good.
You could tell it was very much me just getting used to my role and things like that. Yeah. I think, and the night was still in its infancy because we started in the common room, but there was a band practicing and you couldn't hear Bimmy work. So Kahn just took me aside, like, should we do it in the big room because so we can actually fucking hear the jokes? So that might be a good idea actually. And then he started his whole set again, and it was fucking fun.
Yeah.
Bimmy had a kind of jinx on opening for a while because of that, but he got over it, and he's headlined since Late Replacement. He was fucking good. He killed it. You're one of the fan favourites. Yeah, as you are as well, actually. You wouldn't think that, but you are.
No, I wouldn't think that at all.
Yeah, I think it's because like weird and offensive is just so constant. You're a nice little after 8 mint. It's like a shower after really dirty sex. It makes you feel really ashamed of yourself, which says a lot about the Hoodananny that I'm using that as a thing. But yeah, the second Hoodananny, we moved to the Con Club. I've got a bit more professional. I'm a bit pissed, but Isaac's hosting, and I go on and just
eat Haribo off the floor.
Yeah, I ate Haribo. I'm a consummate pro, as we both know. That was a bit of a mess, wasn't it? But I think it was just like people arriving late, the audience arrived late, and it was Isaac's first ever MC, which I think he did. He got better as the night went on. Yeah. It's a hard skill, and we both had a chat with him.
Yeah, I think it was a hard room for him to compare for his first go.
Because it wasn't a hostile, but it definitely wasn't the best behaved Hoodananny.
No, and also I don't know if people had been to comedy that often before. It was kind of like
in Bury, like at this level, it's very much a new thing. You've got the comedy market, but that's very much.
Is that Kirsty?
Kirsty, I haven't been booked on it, so
no, neither have I.
I want to, but that's kind of. I think it's on intermittently at the Hunters Club, which I had my October one got moved there, and they kindly let me have it for free, and that was a fun night, and. That's a good venue. And then there's obviously Fat Cat, but that's a pro night.
Okay.
And that's at the Apex, the proper big shopping complex. It's like a couple hundred seater.
Oh, okay.
There's no in hell I'm getting on there ever. Let's put it that way. But yeah, it'll take years before we're there. Let's put it that way. And fucking, the dude from The Chase was on there, and I almost went, and I was skint as fuck, so I couldn't go, and I was in Norwich, and I seldom leave the house for obvious reasons.
Yeah, because you're not allowed. Right?
Yeah, several legal requirements, but let's not get into that. Let's not sully the waters too much. But the second one, but I think the Hoodananny still a good gig. Still, it's a decent venue to work with. There's so much space on stage, isn't there?
You've got a lovely room. It's just be a case of policing your crowd better, and I think you probably need a strong compare for that.
Yeah, I think
Isaac. I'm not taking anything away from Isaac. He did brilliantly.
I think it wasn't the right time for him to start. Like it would have been better to have him do maybe a Fear and Loathing at the rehearsal rooms or something like that.
If he first ever won.
Yeah, but you don't get better if you don't do.
No, definitely. And I think I've said to him he needs to start running a night if he wants to compare more, and you'll just...
I think so. I'm more than happy to let him run Bury nights. Like I've told him if I want to do a Bury, but we want to do more, keep it up monthly. I can only properly be involved bi-monthly. Like I've been meaning to talk to him about me sorting out the applications. Chuck me a tenner, then him taking a fee, and then sorting out dividing out the acts. And then I budgeted everything, and he just has all of it in place to just go. Because I think that the Hoodananny is Bury's not big enough for another. Like it's already got every level catered to. It's not really big enough for another night. I think the Hoodananny kind of covers all bases, for that what level it is, and then kind of like I think it's kind of like amateur up to like semi-pro, and then comedy market semi-pro up to like nearly like knocking on the door to pro, and then fucking Fat Cats, obviously the big boys, where the big boys play.
Yeah,
in the massive fucking few hundred seater theatre.
I'm not getting bitter that I haven't been booked. That'd be the. That's when I'll know I'm the shit. When when I'm headlining that Fat Cat in my hometown.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's nice. And we're entering phase 3, which I'll talk to more about the night, but we'll talk about that off stage.
Nice.
But yeah, I'm going to be really cryptic and sneaky. This is the first mention. I'm going to do a really sanctimonious Facebook and Instagram post. I've got some graphic designs just to put.
Lovely.
Yeah, so you can't go out and just tell people things. You've got to be deliberately vague in this age.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, what was I going to get onto? Like sort of like promo stuff. You have posters. And you use social media and. My venue helps. Is your venues generally good with the promotion?
Most of the venues are quite good with promoting. They usually stick a poster up in their pub, which is always handy. And then I sort of say I'll post it around social media. I know I should do more, and the venues could do a little bit more, but we'll work on it.
You just keep going as it goes.
You could always do more. Like you could always be, there's always
more you can do.
8% you can give them extra, and that's just finding it.
But the bigger the night is, and the more people helping running it, the more stuff you can get done.
Yeah,
that's why I'm glad I've got. Flora kind of does like I do the grand concept stuff. You know, these have themes every so often. Flora does like the art stuff and the direction of it. Like she does a lot of the like mood lighting, the lanyard, the kind of like bunting was all hers. At the Trials of the Seven, she did like loads of communist themed like Smirkers of the World Unite. That was fucking funny.
Nice.
I've got like the Stalin with the clown nose in my room at home. It's fucking sick. Yeah. It's brilliant. And Isaac obviously helps with his opinion about like running the night, and he's the artist in residence, and he does a lot of posters and stuff. And I've got Josh, who's really amazing with doing the posters, and Danny Mark, who because I'm skint and can't afford Josh at the moment, he sorts me out. He's a good old boy. So what do you look for like when you decide for like your venues? What do you look for? Obviously stage and willing to have stage like an actual fucking stage and willing to have you. But what else? What draws you to a venue?
To be fair, like a stage isn't necessarily just a space for a stage.
Yeah.
Like the Green Dragon is, we do it on the same. It's just a floor, but we divide it. I think what when you look for a venue is the willingness for comedy, which is always good.
Yeah.
Already a bit of a footfall, and it's sort of fairly well known within the area. Like the Green Dragon is quite well known in Wyndham, for example.
Yeah, it's the only place I've heard of in Wyndham, to be honest, other than the train station. No offence. I'm just fucking ignorant of my surroundings.
But that's fine, and I think that's a good thing as well. Like the Wild Man's quite well known, and Walnut Tree Shades is fairly well known, and Murderers is well known.
Murderers is dope.
So that's a good thing, and because I go to venues like, if you're not getting people, having a comedy night isn't going to be your saviour.
Yeah.
Then it needs to be sort of like you've already got at least a couple of people in on that night anyway.
Yeah. And then they'll tell their mates.
And then we'll enhance it, but we're not going to save your night.
You're not going to we're not going to transplant an audience.
No,
you can't be expected to reasonably.
We'll definitely bring comedians in. We might bring a few extras.
But that's all you can be really responsible beyond the promoting of it.
Yeah.
And when you talk to a venue, because I imagine you've talked to a few, like, what kind of puts you off? Are there any red flags?
For me personally, I always like the venue to put a couple of quid into the budget.
Yeah.
Maybe not the whole budget, but like a couple of quid to pay
the headliner
or
bucket
or me or some, because I usually compare them, or Meal Kahn usually compare them. So as long as there's money for one of us or a headliner, then I'll work out the rest.
Yeah.
Either through a bucket split, or we just free drinks or something like that for the rest of the acts, and we'll work on that way.
Yeah.
Like stuff that puts me right off, and there isn't a lot, but if it's right, there isn't really a defined space between gig and bar. If it kind of merges too much into one, like an old-fashioned pub sort of thing.
Too many people who are just there to have a drink.
They're not going to work, and it's not because I think everyone should listen to us doing a comedy.
Yeah.
Like that's their pub as well, and we're intruders. Like music, you can get away with it because you can kind of talk over music, and still you don't need to watch music the same way you need to watch comedy, in my opinion. So you can get away with having music at pretty much any pub. It's like having a CD on, although it's lovely and it's great live music. But I describe comedy as theatre in the closest possible sense.
Yeah.
That it does need to be watched. You can't have a crowd; you need to have an audience. I think. So if it's
And there's nothing more awkward than trying to do comedy to people who don't want to do fucking comedy.
It's horrible for everyone. It's horrible for the comedian. It's horrible for the audience member.
Because it takes a lot of emotional labour. Like when you've had a bad one, or when you're feeling not too good about your comedy, like how do you like cope with that? How do you move past that and keep yourself motivated?
Well, I think Sarah Millican's got this. I think it's Sarah Millican who said, well, no matter how good or bad the gig went, by 10 o'clock the next morning you move on from it. Yeah, you just forget about it. So, you milk the highs a little bit. You celebrate the good ones to a point, and you reflect on your bad ones to a point, and you just go, cool. Well, next one.
Because how do you distinguish when? Because a lot of people will obviously will moan about, oh, it's a shit night, or it was a shit room, or how do you distinguish? Because I'm perfectly big enough to own up to a bomb, and I'm sure you are as well. Yeah. But how do you distinguish from when you've genuinely bombed and it's just a shit room or a shit night?
I think if other comics do well and you don't, then you've bombed. Yeah. I think that's not the audience then, that's you.
Especially if you're the only one who does, if you suck the fucking energy out of the room.
Or if you see a good act, you know who's a good act. We'll probably use, we'll use Chris.
Yeah.
Just to massage his ego a little bit more. But
Come on the podcast, Chris.
If Chris, if you watch him and he seems to struggle,
then you know it's going to be a rough one.
Then you know it's the audience, or it's the room, or it's something. But if he does well and everyone else does well and you have done shit, then you know it's you.
You need to own up to it.
Yeah. Or, those audience members didn't like you.
Yeah.
But it doesn't make them a bad audience, they just didn't like you.
Yeah, it's often not personal.
It also doesn't make you a bad comic just because they didn't like you.
No, you're just not right for the room. Or you just off that night. Sometimes sometimes you can feel it coming, can't you? But other times it's just totally random. It throws you, doesn't it? Yeah. Sometimes you can win it back, sometimes you can't. Yeah. But and you just so you're saying you just have to genuinely reflect, like it's often not personal, and you can vent, you can have a bitch to yourself, to your partner, long-suffering girlfriends of comics. Yeah. Again, like the NHS and taxi drivers and kebabbies on the front lines of mental health care in this country. Yeah. Really in the trenches, fucking partners of comics. Yeah. It's why it doesn't usually end well when comics date comics. That's just a recipe for disaster.
No, but it seems right for Gary Delaney and Sarah Millican, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, they seem alright, but they're just too wholesome and nice.
They are lovely.
Yeah, Gary Delaney likes you, doesn't he? He gave you.
Yeah, he gave me a nice quote. That's nice.
Good old boy.
Yeah.
My nicest quotes are from you and Kahn and Vinny and Dom. That's about it. Yeah. I'm very much kind of like, everyone's doing well, and like, oh, we'll bring our slightly fun mate just for a bit of seasoning. Yeah, we got into it. We've and how do you keep also on the highs? You've got to make sure you don't start thinking you're big swinging dick and you don't grow. No. Like, how do you keep your ego in check? Because that's one of the hardest fucking things when you're on a run, especially when you're killing it.
I think it's quite. I don't know. I had a lovely gig on the Isle of Wight this year. And it was one of their little theatres, and you got a meal, you got paid, you got drinks. You had a green room, you had a backstage, and you just think, this is why I want to do it. Yeah. For this reason, but then you kind of it's almost you do need to have some self-awareness and go, not every gig's like this.
Yeah.
But milk it tonight. Pretend that you're Jimmy Carr and you're headlining or whatever. Pretend you're a name and have a good night. Do your job on stage. Yeah. But just remember, tomorrow you're going to be in a shitty pub in Camden and performing in front of other acts.
Or you're going to be fucking at work.
Yeah. And it's just, the work, I really enjoy my job at the moment, so that's all right. But I didn't particularly enjoy my previous job. Yeah. And that was a hell of a come down, especially when you had a good gig. When you had a really
and you had to go back to just fucking slogging it.
And then you had to go and do the 9 to 5 or
it's like coming off a high, isn't it? It's like being like when going. I imagine I wouldn't know anything about it, but coming off substances and stuff.
Yeah. I genuinely wouldn't know anything about it.
Yeah. Well, we both from Norwich. We've got a very good healthy scene and that. We've got some very good venues. Obviously, you talk about Kahn and Dom and everything like what other comics are you really other than like locally or your mates? What other comics are you really, not necessarily well known, what other comics are you really enjoying at the moment?
He is local to be fair, but he's Tim Fitzheim. He's a brilliant comic, and if my other half, if he listens to this, she'll say, well, you've got a man crush on him, because I do. He's a lovely bloke.
He does look like a regal chap, doesn't he?
Brilliant. And he's been around for forever, and he knows everyone in the business, and he's very funny. He's done everything. He's brilliant, and just the way you can turn it on, comedy wise, and just how funny he is. And I think I do enjoy watching him. He's probably one of my favourite comedians to watch live. I think John Mann, another one who's just very good. He's recently moved to the area, but he's been around forever, and he's a great live pro comic. Jeff Innocent is probably one of my favourite live comics. He'll never make telly, and he knows this. A
lot of us are aware of that in the game, but you can earn a decent living without telly nowadays, can't you?
He doesn't need. He'll never. I say never be right for telly. He's a fantastic live comic. He's just. Have you seen Jeff Innocent at all?
No, but I'll do some homework.
Yeah, he is very, very good. He does red card now and then for him, so if he's ever in Norwich. But no, he's very. And I quite like, if I try and book, I've tried to book all three of them, but I get Tim and John fairly regularly on bills. It's quite nice just to watch them perform and do their stuff.
Yeah, that's good. I like a lot. I like Abonja is one of my favourites at the moment.
Yeah, he's a pain in the arse to compare for.
Yeah.
I did it for him at Gonzo's the other night, and he doesn't come on and shake your hand as the president. He just comes in, starts singing. So right, I'll get off now, and he leaves the stage in the same sort of fashion. So
very regal, and you've got to prepare for it. It's not a usual.
And I've not. This is the first time I've compared for him, and it is a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
I made a joke of, well, you never see me and Abonja on the stage at the same time, so maybe we're the same. No,
but he's a good dude.
Yeah, really nice bloke.
Yeah, very good dude.
And smashing it at the moment.
Yeah, he's been killing it. Yeah. I've been hearing very good things. Spring's very good. I mentioned it before. Simon Kane, who came in September, he's a
funny bloke.
He's decent,
nice guy as well.
Very, very good chap. Liked him a lot. Had a lot of good stuff. Chris Norton Walker.
Yeah.
I've been very lucky with headliners. We're going from strength to strength. It goes to show that once you get a lot more interest, not just for paid and open spots, when you've got a good reputation as a night. And I think one of the most satisfying things for me as a promoter is getting more and more applications and more interest in my comedy inbox. Yeah. And also random unsolicited Facebook messages and requests as well. I used to kind of answer them a bit, but now I just go, please email me.
I mean, unless I'm... Yeah.
Unless you know them.
Yeah, or I've seen them, or I've got recommendations from people, or I'm desperate for a spot. I'm just going to flick through who has messaged me in the past.
Yeah.
But
so we like Norwich. Football. Yeah, we'll get finally to the football. I hear Norwich are doing quite well at that.
Doing all right at the moment, actually. Yeah, and it's quite good.
They're sort of winning the league, apparently.
Well, we're second at the moment, but it's only by a point, and dirty Leeds will fuck up at some point, and we'll take the championship. So that'll be right.
Well, they usually smash it till about December to February, and then they just completely implode.
Yeah, which is going to happen again because they're filthy. I don't like Leeds. I don't know why.
A lot of people don't because I'm an Ipswich fan. Just outed myself. I'm not safe on these streets no more. No, I feel a lot safer in Norwich than I do fucking Ipswich.
Well, yeah.
A lot of people do. Ipswich, you know what you are. Just be honest.
I mean, I genuinely think, as an Ipswich fan, you could walk around Norwich in an Ipswich shirt, non-match day.
Yeah.
Match day's a bit special, but non-match day, and you wouldn't get much grief.
Right.
I think.
Maybe not Prince of Wales on a night, but
yeah, I mean, if you go out during the day in Ipswich shirt in City Centre, you'll be all right.
Yeah.
You'll get a scum.
Yeah.
You go out in Ipswich in a Norwich shirt, which I have done on just a normal day.
It's feral.
How old was I at the time? I was 12.
Fuck me.
And I got shit from big blokes, and it was just awful. And I was
very pissed middle-aged dockers.
Yeah. I mean, we were at the Premier League at the time.
That's probably why.
Yeah, but it's
very, very, very triggered about that. Ipswich fans.
I mean, it's nice to see that you'll get out of the league finally in the first time in 17 years.
Well, it'd be nice to go at places like Rochdale and Chesterfield and Caneham 4-0.
Well, you'll go to them. You'll go to those places.
Yeah. Personally, I think it's more humiliating that Sunderland got relegated. I mean, is it 40,000 seat stadium of light?
Yeah.
fucking League One.
Yeah.
I mean, they're smashing it, but really they should be a mid-table, looking at top 10 Premier League side with the fucking infrastructure. Same with Newcastle. They're just atrociously managed. And I have issues with Marcus Evans, but at least it's not that. You look at clubs like that and you're like, fuck me.
Well, have you seen the Netflix series on Sunderland?
Well, God save Sunderland.
Or Sunderland Till I Die. Yeah, it's quite good. It's quite good to watch.
I was going to watch it because I'm a big fan of Schadenfreude, laughing at the misery of others.
Yeah.
I mean, very, very like football-y thing, enjoying that, and it's very rare Ipswich can enjoy that about another team. I saw the home game last season. We spanked them 4-2.
That got mentioned in the documentary.
It was 5.
How shit are you if you got beaten by Ipswich?
No, fuck it, especially 5-2. Like, they never do well at Town, but we were good. I think we had a good season last season. We punched above our weight like we usually do. It wasn't like playoff punching when we had a much worse squad. But we should have. I was pissed off we conceded 2 goals. I think we should have won that game like 10-0.
Yeah.
And only like McGeady, who scored a fucking belter, to be fair. Only McGeady and when John O'Shea came on at like 58, however old he is.
Yeah.
And they're the only two that seemed...
Oh, you say when he came on at 58 minutes? No, 58
years of age.
Old, yeah.
He just didn't seem... They're the only two that seemed fucking bothered about that club, and they've got a few academy players who gave a shit, but they just seemed fucking drifting about, waiting to lose.
Well, you can say that about the Ipswich squad now.
Yeah, well, they're fighting again under Lambert, which was it's weird. I never thought that happened. No. But Hurst, they were great, but drawing games, losing games we should have drawn, drawing games we should have won. Just hit the confidence, and then under Hurst, especially someone who's constantly like dropped Bart for the derby, who's been our player of the season past 3 years, fucking just slagging the team off senseless in the fucking press. You can't do that when a side's like it's just not good man management.
No.
And, he gave like the club gave him a lot of fucking financial backing to buy a lot of League One players who haven't performed to expectations. Like, there's been a few decent buys and but like, funnily enough, if you lose all 4 of your top scorers in a season and replace them with two League One guys and 35-year-old John Walters who gets injured after 3 games, who we put all of our hope in. You're not going to find many goals.
Is it?
Yeah, someone said like if you buy League One too many League One players, you end up a League One team. But I don't know if this is, and you'll probably poo-poo this, but my kind of stupid optimism and belief is that Ipswich kind of like one of those frustrating turds that won't flush from the Premier League. Like, where it took Sunderland, Stoke, Brom, and fucking Villa years. They just wouldn't die. And it was just like dragging a fucking coma patient along. I think we'll somehow shithouse it and pretend in like 20th or something like that.
I genuinely think you'll go down this season.
I don't think it'll be bottom, but...
No, you won't be bottom, but I think you'll go down. I just
do think there are shitter teams in the Championship than Ipswich. I know you've been inclined not to say, but like...
On form, no.
No, but like fucking... I don't know, not on form, but in terms of quality.
The table doesn't lie.
No, not at this stage it don't. But I don't know. I think the way
next month's going to be important for you. If Lambert can get anyone in,
Gestead might be alright. But apparently everyone knows the situation's Ipswich in, and they're charging fucking money, and like that's just something Ipswich aren't willing to spend because the Sun. I don't think it's to journalism what Myra Hindley was to childcare, but fucking they were saying you'd have like 10 million to spend. Like fucking what Ipswich Town? 10 where from?
Aren't you in debt? Oodles amount and
we had to the only reason we spent is because we sold fucking Waggy and Garner. I miss Joey Garner.
I know you do. Last season that was all your statuses were.
Just every time he scored
Garner,
just his face or my friend Georgia who you've met and been heckled by. You heard the video of her saying we've got Joey Garner. I was very sad to report that we don't indeed have Joey Garner anymore,
but we've got Jordan Rhodes and he hates Ipswich.
He does hate it. To be fair, mate, I don't fucking blame him. Like, Roy Keane is a cunt. Like, he's a fucking rabid dog. He's just a fucking moron. Total thug. Doesn't play him. Treats his dad like shit. Sells him for like a few hundred, 350,000 at Huddersfield. He
Yeah.
scores 30 goals, 8 million at Blackburn.
Yeah.
And you know, I was thinking he was shit in the home leg, but last season I watched the home leg as well because I daren't go to them at Carrow Road for obvious reasons. But as soon as they started giving James Maddison grief last season, I was like, he's going to score.
Yeah.
He fucking scored.
Yeah.
And then the whole thing was like, Rhodes is going to fucking score. And then he just, I don't know, I think the occasion got the better of him.
I think so a little bit. And to be fair, like
it's emotional for him.
He's our super sub now. He doesn't
usually
start matches. We've got Timu Pukki. We don't need
Pukki. He'll come on and he'll be a lot more prepared for Carrow, won't he? He'll be a lot more prepared.
Yeah,
I don't blame him. He was treated appallingly by the club, I feel. Well, a lot of people were, but Keane just fucking took a top 10 championship club and just ripped it to shreds and spunked money on just pensioners going for a payday.
Yeah.
Spunking money on League Boat, yeah. Fuck oh. I wake up in chills by some of those seasons, mate. Like, we're doing worse than there, but we're still playing better football, which is weird. But I don't know.
I think if you
don't have that killer instinct at the front.
No,
you know?
and you've got Freddie Sears. That's it.
Yeah, and Sears works his bollocks off, but he's not a fucking 20-goal a season striker.
No, he's not. And I think I genuinely think you'll go down. But if you do go down, that'll be all right. I think if Lambert sticks around, he won't go at the end of the season.
Yeah, he knew the situation when he signed,
and I think,
and he's going to have a lot of patience.
He'll bring you back up because that's what he does.
Yeah, he's a very good manager.
Yeah, he's wow.
He just had shit clubs to work with, like Villa, like dead Villa, Stoke, who were doomed.
Well,
fucking before money Wolves, like before Portuguese, Chinese money.
Yeah.
George Mendes just turned up with all of these amazing players.
Yeah.
Fucking. But he's good, and I don't know. I'm obviously Ipswich till I die. I'm not like one of those primary school kids who, when we were in the Prem, were like Ipswich mad. And like, oh, by the way, I support Chelsea or Aston Villa.
Yeah.
You know, I stick with them.
Yeah.
But I feel like Ipswich are kind of like my mate, who's just a bit fucked up at the moment. It's like his mental health's gone to shit. He's lost his job. He's not taking good care of himself. But you got to stick by him because he's your mate. And I feel like that.
Yeah.
Well, I wondered if we could, before we get to closing remarks, we could go over some topical stuff. If that's all right.
Yeah, go for it.
Right, I've got some stories up. Do you hear about Corbs calling Theresa May a stupid woman?
Wow, did he though?
Yeah, people say stupid people, but
I think it's fine to channel your inner Rene from LOLO. That's lovely, you stupid woman.
Yeah. It was a nice. He was doing a bit. He was working out some new material.
That's all he was riffing off Theresa May.
Dodgy crowd. He had nothing to work with.
No,
she has nothing to work with.
Very dodgy crowd. I think it's fine. I don't know. I think it's one of those things where if it had just called her stupid, no one would have minded. The fact he said woman.
And I think that they were looking for an out. They're looking for any angle with him, and to make it gendered, they really jumped on that. Yeah. And when they're actively kicking down boundaries for social mobility and shit like that. And did you hear about Theresa May fucking restoring the writ for someone a Tory MP who's been accused of rape? For the no confidence vote.
Right.
I must have missed, because I'm doing gender and power. I must have missed a bit about feminism, where using a rapist for political purposes, for gains,
was fine.
I must have. Well, to be fair, I've been a bit shit with the further reading the past couple of weeks. But yeah, it's a bit. The thing is, I think objectively she is a very stupid, inept woman.
I mean, people were basically calling that in the press over Brexit. The fact that someone's actually
said it.
Obi-Wan Kenobi's coming and gone, actually she is a stupid woman, and people are losing their fucking shit about it.
Yeah, it's like almost when if someone has a comic sucks or is a bit of a dick, and then everyone thinks he's a dick or has done bad, and then everyone talks, but no one wants to say it. And then you're the one that says it. Suddenly you're the fucking arsehole.
Yeah.
And I don't know how that works.
Don't know.
And
I think it sort of stems back. I mean, if this reflects badly, I do apologise. I'm just riffing now. Yeah. But when you had all the footballers, I think what was it? I can't remember who it was. There were so many of them, but calling one a sort of a black cunt and stuff like that.
Oh, Raheem Sterling.
Yeah. Or a few years ago we had it with John Terry, didn't we?
Yeah.
With Anton Ferdinand.
Yeah, calling him. That same thing.
Something. If you called him a cunt, he'd have got away with it.
But as soon as you racialise it,
as soon as you put another little thing on it, like with Jeremy Corbyn, stupid woman, or black cunt,
because because you negate, because cunt is a good standalone. You don't need to prefix cunt with anything. It usually says what it says on the tin.
And I think, I mean, I'm not saying Jeremy Corbyn calling Theresa May a stupid woman is anywhere near black cunt. I'm not saying that, and I can't believe I've just said black cunt again.
I'm not going to just delete the rest of the footage and then just put that on. I'm not going to Britain's Got Talent.
If anyone wants that as a ringtone, let me know.
He does jingles.
I do jingles. That's the way I walk. I'm not saying it's anywhere near it, but it's kind of like that in a way.
It's the same kind of your stupid would have been fine. Yeah. Inept, incompetent, all of that. Like when he tabled the motion of no confidence and she just stropped off.
I'm
not exactly strong and stable, is it?
No, well, hey. I don't think there's anything wrong with the sentiment at all. I think, but you just got to be so careful because everyone's out for him anyway. His own party are out for him. So you just don't give him anything. Don't give him anything. But I understand.
You can't fucking win anyway. Either way, I don't think.
It's like he's lost his shit. It's like if we lose our shit of a heckler. Yeah. And we just go, oh, fuck off. It's like you've lost it.
At least you haven't done a Kramer, in Comedy Store. Yeah. Fucking hell. That's the ultimate. You've lost the heckle battle. Yeah. A close second is what Susanna did to Dom at the roast. And there's footage of that coming soon. You'll love it.
They sort the footage out. I really want the one of me and Bimmy.
Yeah, I want the one of me and Isaac. That was weird shit.
I still want the one of Dom and Susanna.
And the final bit about Theresa May, kind of like. Did you see the meme with Theresa May doing the weird dance thing? Like when you find out only 35 to 40% of your colleagues fucking hate you. Yeah. And that was enjoyable. And it's weird because she won't call another general election, I don't think, because she'll just get caned by on both sides.
That'd be like turkeys voting for Christmas.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like just setting yourself up for a lose. Yeah. A loss right there.
And now she can't be challenged for another year. Like it's just going to be awkward. Like I think the analogy, I don't know whether you'll agree, is when you're at a party and no one really likes someone there, and you don't know who invited them, and you're not even sure why they're really fucking there because nobody really wants them there, and like Corbyn just got in the trouble going like, why are you actually here, mate? Who asked you to come? Or like when you're at a stand-up show and someone's just eating dick, like not even offensive, but like they're just fucking dying, like you just want to you dignitas the shit out their set, like you mercy kill them, and it's horrible, and they're just lingering on stage like a stale fart, and you just want them off, and everyone's just like, no moral judgment, but can you please leave? Like, can you stop? Not you just want to lead them off, like put like a, there's the Samaritans who patrol nights out, they have the tin foil bags and just like take it out. Yeah. It's a bit embarrassing. Yeah, the other thing I want to think, your partner works in the NHS. Right. My parents work for the NHS. Right. What do you think about the Vote Leave guys, the Brextremists, as it were, which kind of polite way of other people would say more polite, less polite things. Like it sounds like a very lame ISIS, doesn't it? It's not, doesn't inspire real fear, does it? Or the Ramonas, they're very lame names. Political pundits just like, I like stand-ups. They just want to get their bit in, like their word. Like Omni Chambers, Ramona, and they want it to stick. And it's like you see them on the BBC doing a performance, and you're like, he's working a bit. Yeah. He's riffing right now.
That's hang on, he's doing material.
Yeah. Fucking hell, this isn't the news. This is an open mic. Yeah, and they blocked Westminster Bridge, and it was like the people have spoken. If you don't respect the referendum, all that shit. They were blocking fucking paramedics, like an ambulance, from getting out to people. Like, did you hear about that?
I haven't, no. But if that's the story, that's bollocks, really. That's
pretty fucked up, isn't it? Who's that helping objectively? Who's that helping?
Well, what was the point? It's just, I think it's when. I mean, politics is very important. Obviously, I don't pretend to really care about it, but it is important. But I think when it starts taking over, it's the same with football. Like football's very important, but when it starts taking over your day to day a bit too much.
Yeah, when it becomes like not a religion, because you can be religious or spiritual and not be a dick about it. But when it becomes a cult, is when
it's just when it's silly.
Like they don't even really know. It doesn't seem that people don't really know what they want with Brexit. They just have this like idea of it, like this romanticised. Like they haven't really. it doesn't seem very well thought through, any of the solutions.
I'm hoping it's like an episode of like the end of series of Lost, where it's it's all a dream. Never mind.
Yeah.
Well, what we learnt from this.
I'm hoping we just go like, nah, let's not do it. But yeah, interestingly, that's kind of messed up. But another thing I wanted to talk to you about is we touched on Black Cunt, Raheem's. Not Raheem is a. I'm really sorry. The racism Raheem Sterling faced, and I think you like sport, you like your footy.
Yeah.
He gets a horrendous amount of flack whenever he doesn't perform, or when England didn't perform. He was entirely blamed, and it's scapegoated, and it's horrible. And the way he's covered in the press, I'm not going to speak on it, but it does seem a bit racist. Like when, for example, he got the gun tattoo, and people criticise the gun tattoo.
Yeah.
Saying like, oh, I would criticise anyone for it. But when he talked to him about it, it was a tribute to his dad who died in like gun violence in Jamaica.
Yeah, but then I also think, don't get a gun.
Yeah, you can like disagree with the aesthetic, but I think the it's his fucking body, you know.
Yeah.
And I think it was like a lot of white, Hispanic, Asian, Latino, other footballers have fucking dumb tattoos. Like Beckham's tattoos are a bit cringy. Firmino has some really. Any time you go on the neck or the face, I'm a bit like you melt, you know.
So I don't have any tattoos myself.
Yeah.
So I think they've got, without being a bit fluffy about it, but they've got to mean something. They've got to be a reason. I don't really want to just have like Tweety part on my arse or something like that. That's
like for a bit of banter, a joke. Like it's got to have like some.
I think so. So that's why I've never really bothered. But I used to work in the industry, I used to work at sea and cruise ships and stuff, where you couldn't have tattoos on show because it might offend people, because you're working in sort of a customer service environment. And I think with footballers, I think it's the same sort of thing. I have got to be careful. Although it's their bodies, you could argue that when you work on cruise ships, my body, I'll do what I want.
Yeah.
But actually, because you're public facing, you've probably got to be a bit sensitive what you're sticking on. I think they are public facing. Yeah. They are performers, they are influencers to kids and stuff like that. And I just got to be careful what you stick on.
Yeah, I think people can have negative connotations to it, of course, but I just, I think a lot of it is in the right-wing press, and he's an open Labour supporter, and I don't see a bit of an issue. It's not something I'd get, but it just doesn't have the same meaning to me. He got stick on Instagram for like posting like his, Dave Kitson said, his bling lifestyle, or posting that he bought his mum a house. Like, how dare you? What a cunt! How dare you buy your mum a house? And
that's just silly, isn't it?
That's just awful. When he said like you're for showing off your stuff that you've kind of worked hard.
Yeah.
Isn't that what fucking Instagram is for?
Definitely.
Like, isn't that the whole fucking point? And also, there's another example. Phil Foden and Abaradio. There was a story. Two kind of like academy graduates bought their parents a house, and Phil Foden's the article in obviously the Daily Mail again. I view it the same as my comment on the Sun, but with a bit more racism. Phil Foden was kind of portrayed as this lovely kid doing a bit for his family, kind of on the edge of the kind of like making smart charitable business decisions. Then Adebayo was portrayed as like this player buys his parents a house. He's on this wages despite never playing a football game. It's like, surely it's universally nice to buy your mother a house.
Yeah.
It's just like, and that just seemed like a bit of a double standard. And I think there's kind of like a bit of a movement at the moment, because whenever you see about, there was the Raheem Sterling, there was the banana incident.
Yeah.
Tyrone Mings like refused his interview on TalkSport because of what Kitson said. Darren Moore, the West Bromwich Albion coach, speaking out about it. There seems to be like a movement like, I'm tired of fucking taking this. Like, I'm at work.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a public face and I'm a role model, but I'm at fucking work. And like, if you came into fucking your work and started calling people cunts with whatever prefix, or fucking throwing bananas and bottles and coins and shit, you call the fucking police. And I mean, I know these people do get prosecuted now, and that it's a bit. It's not as bad as it was in the 70s or 80s. No. But it's fucking. It doesn't seem like anything ever changes. Like Yaya Toure got a lot of stick. In Russia, it's really bad. Fucking whenever the clubs get done with it, it's like, oh, you play one game behind closed doors and you get a little bit of a slap on the wrist, and then nothing really ever changes. And I think Man United City fans were booing like the Champions League anthem because of their I don't know which player, but one of their youth players, I think, or Yaya Toure experienced racism. So when it came on, they were booing it because they didn't do anything. And then UEFA tried to fucking fine them for doing that, and they eventually backed off. But it's like, this is bad optics. Like, I'm not in PR, but this fucking looks bad. Yeah. So yeah, we discussed that. I'll just leave you with any like closing remarks. Like anything sparked your interest? Anything to say?
I just keep supporting live comedy. I think.
Yeah.
And it is a process. It's all grassroots. It's all going to be very good.
Yeah.
Very exciting. Norwich is on the up.
Yeah. East Anglia's on the up.
East Anglia's on the up. Let's extend that definitely.
Yeah.
And I just think, just enjoy it.
Yeah. And one final question.
Mm-hmm.
If you want anyone thinking of starting out, who might be listening, because I know a few of my people have messaged me, and you might have got a few messages about people wanting to give it a go.
Yeah.
What advice would you give to someone starting out?
Don't, because the market's saturated enough, and I struggle to get fucking gigs.
Yeah, we need the fucking money, you selfish pricks.
No,
you're meant to be our friends.
Gig loads, write loads. Don't be afraid to do the same 10 minutes for a year. That's what I did basically. Change a few bits now and then, but just bed in. I'm doing a new gig, or I'm doing a different gig tomorrow night, so I have to do a whole new set. No, just do the same stuff. It's a different audience. They're not going to know who you are. Doesn't matter. I did the same sort of 10 minutes
in Norwich, all the time in London.
All the time. It doesn't matter. I don't. Yeah, experiment with new stuff. Yeah, but
enough to keep it fresh for you.
Like the first 2 years, I think are just, can I be funny on stage
consistently?
Can I hold a presence on stage? And even if you're doing hack jokes, can you get an audience on board? And then the 2 to 5 years, I think, then you start finding your voice. You start, that's my style.
It's such a long process, isn't it? And I think people don't get like just how long it takes, and you can't just jump in and be fucking amazing at it. And like I've already heard people who want to start out or have just started out saying, "Oh, I'm planning my first fringe show," or like, "Well, I've got the name for my first half hour, or even hour." I mean, it's like, it's too don't.
I mean, some people, like, there's a comedian called Mark Rowe who, as an experiment, he went from 0 to fringe in a year, and he gigged solidly. Yeah. Like, so he basically did about 3 years worth of gigs in a year. So that's the exception that proves the rule.
Yeah, because that's basically a full-time job. Because comedy is part-time unless you're really fucking lucky.
Yeah.
For a while, years, and it's like an apprenticeship, isn't it? Yeah. You've got to learn the tools and pay your dues and make connections and prove yourself to the biz and prove you're not a cunt and or a plagiarist or worst, not funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, it takes a while. So I think what I'd say as well, just be kind to yourself and be patient. Yeah, to keep knocking on doors. Don't be afraid to apply for a gig you've been rejected before.
Yeah, just keep at it.
A lot of times some people don't have the time. I reply to everyone because I'm good. But fucking sometimes a lot of people run like 10, 20 nights.
And just don't have the time.
Or some people are just dicks. But you'll find out who's who.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alright, just to remind everyone, do you have anything to plug, Martin?
Just all my Hooma nights. Follow me on Facebook. Me and Hooma. And all the dates are there.
Awesome, thank you very much.
Thank you.
I've been Aaron Hoodie with Martin Westgate. This has been the Hoodcast. Bye-bye.
Bye.